Hello, hello. This is Irene with SaugaTalks. Hello, happy 2026, everyone. All right, we're still celebrating in a way because this is a new year, new beginning, new challenges, new answers, new solutions. All right, so I'm Irene with SaugaTalks. I'm happy to continue our conversations on leading technology. Okay, AI is at the center for me, for everyone around me. All right, and I speak with fascinating leaders. So today, Amit Garg is with me. Amit, welcome. How are you?
Oh, thank you so much. Good afternoon, Irene. Thank you so much for having me here. Happy to be here and share my point of view on how the world is changing with this ever-changing technology. And by the way, Happy New Year to you and all the listeners.
Fantastic, fantastic. So let's start somewhere. All right. I pick on word agentic AI. Okay, some leaders and entrepreneurs I'm talking to, they kind of skeptical. Okay, stop using all these big words. All right. Okay, agentic, not agentic. We're in new world for sure. All right. So could you talk to us from where you are, Amit? I mean, AI boom, Gen AI boom, agentic. Is it really that huge? Is it really a boom?
So let's take a step back. Boom is the right word, but it is a hype at the same time and the hype of enthusiasm. We traditionally we have had AI. No, it's not the new thing that has happened to us, but in last 3 4 years, from the evolution of generative AI with from the open AI and what you can do, generate content and everything, and then the next step was how things can be done autonomously, and then have a framework that can start doing things and identifying or or reaching out the new heights which were never seen before. So yes, agentic AI boom is real. The hype is real, but at the same time, the reality is still yet to sink in terms of. And when I say reality, I always refer to the outcomes, the controls, and the metrics. So how we can measure it while we are into this agentic AI boom, which is there everywhere, and I think this probably for the 21st century after COVID, this is the second most phrases word in the human history for now.
For sure, for sure. So let's scratch some surface today, all right? We're not going to be comprehensive. We're not going to talk about all the angles. No one expects it from us, right? But you spoke about gains and KPIs and some of the measurable metrics, right? So let's talk about efficiency. Okay, because we've seen enough funny videos, we've seen enough what the Gen AI can do. I think, learning about agentic AI as we speak. Okay, how is it better than original traditional automation? All right, so could you talk to us a little bit where agentic AI is helping with efficiencies?
Of course, let me tell you the story before I delve into the business efficiency. So we all know, I think year and a half back, when there was a glitch in the CrowdStrike software, which brought all the Delta flights down by almost for almost 4 or 5 hours, and then reportedly they lose almost $500 million business. I mean, I don't know what the reality is, but that was there, and most of us, like some of my friends, got affected, and it took uh, uh, time to restore the system or restore the operations. So now with the agentic AI, had there been an agentic AI, so the agents, the different agents for different purposes could have handle or alert the anomaly beforehand. If not, then at least they would have communicated to the customers proactively to be able to manage the ground operations in a more effective and productive way. So you ask about the business efficiency. So traditionally, the way business efficiency has been looked when uh, 10 years back, when our enterprises started working digital, going digital transformation started. 2018, 19, data driven, and now digital labor. So the traditional business efficiency is being measured in terms of process optimizations, how you can automate some of the mundane tasks or the effort which is being taken, cost reduction, being able to consolidate the technology and so on. So this was very process centric thing. While with the introduction and evolution of agentic AI and its ecosystem, this is very outcome based automation, like so the goal centric orchestration. So now the business efficiency which business leaders should be kind of looking at is uh, which is more, let's say, a digital labor, how they can reduce the human efforts and introduce the digital labor where human is only overseeing them. So for example, like some of the things which human has been doing in today's enterprise world, like triaging the defects or looking at the SLAs or the reports, how we can leverage more agents, so which is for cost efficiency and everything. Looking at some of the autonomous operations wherein the agent can decide or predict if there is any failure. So instead of automating the report, or if the automating the report as when it should generate, but if there is an anomaly in the incoming data set, agent not only capture that anomaly but also fix it based on the historical pattern. So saves money, saves time for everyone, and then be able to, like, some of the other business efficiency, instead of looking at uh, periodically insights or continue, it is now continuous insights and verification to be able to do the test harness or telemetrics. So those things, like, are the true business efficiencies, and be able to measure it, that yes, these are definitely tangible and measurable efficiencies.
Yes, that helps. That helps, Amit, for sure. All right. But I know, and you know, that enterprise technology stack is huge. All right. And introducing any new technology, no matter how promising and how shiny and how mandated it is, right? It's huge challenge. And that's why leaders with budgets, with team, with mission, right? With day to day mission critical applications to maintain, right? They're sometimes reluctant to introduce another level of complexity. So could you talk to us a little bit about integrating agentic, wonderful AI solutions and capabilities into legacy systems? All right, because when we cannot avoid, that kind of conversation.
Totally, and to the point, because this is something which is in my conversation with the leaders or the key stakeholders. That's what it is. They cannot just replace what they have with the agentic AI, because anyways, we all know that agentic AI still have to prove its measurement and the true benefit. So from a from an integration standpoint with the legacy application, let's say if somebody is running a mainframe in the financial institution, when somebody is running a mainframe based system, as how we can enable AI. So some of the what where we can enable AI is to be able to let's say in this case automate or process the number of documents or the knowledge which exists. So uh, have a system which can some of the use cases that you can see is which can consolidate all the documents, all the institutional knowledge which is captured or buried under these legacy systems, and then uh, build a knowledge graph, build a knowledge system that can not only help the the people who are in the system, but also help them validating, verifying, and also onboard new reps or the new team members who are coming in. Purely how it will, like, so agentic AI can help with complement and supplement the legacy system in a way wherein to build. So for example, let's say if you have a system wherein you have thousands of APIs running. So let's take an example of any airlines. So every airline has different different APIs or functionals. So let's say if you want to book a flight for the business, for if you want to do a business class, your customer value, your loyalty, offers and everything. So there are different services which are there. So where agentic AI can, like, do help is to build an orchestration on the top of some of these cross-function capabilities. And then for a user, instead of interacting with multiple systems or reps, instead of going through multiple, oh, I know this or I know this, so the agent will intercept the user request and a kind of call the appropriate service to get the information, and then based on the user in classification, provide the input or tailor the input as how user would like to see it. So while with the evolution of the agentic AI or the AI agents all across, we don't it doesn't mean that we have to change our legacy ecosystem overnight. We have to there are always like ways to find where we can complement and supplement and then supplement the process and leverage the AI to augment the system which we have, which we already established and stable.
Let's talk about data's role, okay? Again, there's no conversation about AI or any kind of innovation without looking at data. So data's role in autonomy, all right? Could you share maybe case where poor data derailed the agentic project, or at the same time, some future-proof strategies to avoid those?
So, I mean, data, I will start with as a, data and AI enthusiast, I will start with data is old philosophy, garbage in, garbage out. And it still holds true in today's world. No matter how sophisticated our system is, or how technically rich our system is, without having the standardized, governed, trusted data, we cannot build a trusted ecosystem. So when you say the data role, data is the key. And then while we have all these systems, the data warehouses, the data products, the data lake house, and all those in mix, when we are building the agentic AI framework on the top of the existing data, we have to ensure that the data is agent ready. It has the dimensions, the facts, or the permutation combination of what we are looking to achieve. So for example, let's say if we are building let's say an analytics framework on the top of the data, which is like an agent or the agentic AI framework that would analyze the report or answer any questions which are not very intuitive directly from the reports. The data which is there should have those dimensions in. So report is showing, let's say, a curve, the sales curve, which is going like up, down to up, or up to down. So what are some of the factors that would have caused? Maybe like the data should have the demographical information. In that case, if I have to ask, okay, what caused the drift in the sales, up or down? Was there an event? Any disruption, anything that happened? So some of those things that should be there, and without having as I said, the governed or the standardized data, it is extremely difficult to be able to measure the true value of agentic AI. Yes, we will have process established, but it is just a process, and then we'll need more humans to fix it.
Sure, sure. You mentioned humans, all right? And we hear a lot about human AI collaboration, augmentation, right? All kind of great promises that everywhere, all right? But when agents become more autonomous, and again, we have some fantastic examples, okay? It looks like we can sit back and relax now, right? Because agents will take care of everything. But what about skills that professionals in data and AI should prioritize to thrive along those systems?
So and it's a very good question. Like skill, like there is a very there is a healthy debate, which is like, do we need more AI engineers? Do we need more data engineers? Or data engineers should become a AI engineers? Or what will happen to the data scientists and all those things? In my opinion, to enable agentic AI framework in your ecosystem, there is a role for data engineer, as what they are currently doing, to ensure the data is standardized, governed, trusted, and supporting the framework which business is trying to establish. there is a role for the AI engineer comes in to give that direction to the AI processes, AI driven processes, as in the promptings, the right, like, the right parameters, what it should pick, the context, and so on. But one skill, like, and then the good old software architects, the engineers, that the we, who are capable of stitching the processes end to end, and can see the system, like, from the holistic standpoint, not just AI process in general, or the data in general, how the data is flowing, what are, like, how the data is flowing, what are the process being integrated, what is the contract between the data agent or the APIs, how the observability or the telemetrics are being driven, the auditability, the governance factor. So some of these things are key to learn, quote unquote. Skill standpoint, data engineers are, you need AI engineers, but in general, we need, like, more with a good acumen of the software engineering, like, to be able to understand, like, what's going on. It's not just about building one AI agent or one API. You should be able to understand the entire ecosystem.
Absolutely, absolutely. What about non-technical roles? Okay, because seem to be the line is blurring now, right? And a lot of business experts know a lot about technology and vice versa, right? And technology leaders very versed on business side, right? So where is this like kind of sweet spot that pretty much everyone have to be now fluent with some AI tools, at least with some understanding? What's your recommendation here?
I think in today's world, if anyone is not using or leveraging AI to augment or force multiply their work, whatever it is, they are they are doing disservice to them. It's not that AI is going to replace them or take their jobs or anything. It's how they can be more efficient, be more productive in what they are doing. So think of a project manager or a QA engineer. QA engineer, I'll take an example of QA engineer. QA engineer, oh yes, Chat GPT can generate my QA test cases if I give it the functional requirement. What do I do? Like, where do I go? The institutional knowledge which QA engineer is having, a Chat GPT can never have. So if a QA engineer provides the right input and give the direction to the AI, he or she can actually uh, you know, improve the quality of the QA test cases to be able to find out more edge case scenarios, and then make the system more stable, reliable, and then, yes, less error prone. From a skill standpoint, for the non-technical team member, in my opinion, is everybody should know how to search in AI. It's not, because if you are not asking the right question, then the answer could be anything. And AI is, like, in my personal experience also, it is as confident giving wrong answer as it is confident in giving the right answer. So for AI, like, you will never find a difference or in its how it respond to, good or not good, I would say. So non-technical folks, everyone should have Chat GPT, Claude, Perplexity, or any other tool which they are comfortable with, and spend good 15-20 minutes every day to learn how to interact or how to use this tool to augment their operation.
Absolutely. And I just want to echo your point here that our critical thinking, right? Nobody going anywhere, all right? Even communicating with AI, you have to be critical. That's how you differentiate, expert from non-expert, right? Expert can ask right questions and get much more qualified answers. So nobody replacing no one at that point, because again, right, it's like when you're not an artist, you will not know how valuable the image that was generated, right? It really is. Same thing with programmers, same thing with business people, don't you think?
Absolutely. And an analogy which I oftenly use is, so AI is like a powerful horse which has a lot of strength, endurance, power, and everything, but it's blind. So if there is no jockey on it, it will keep running, blindly, in any direction. So the job of us or people who are augmenting it, using it, is to ensure that we are directing it to our use. Like, if it's a race, if you are in a race course, we use the horse like accordingly. Or if we are just taking a stroll on the horse, like, yeah, we just like sit that way. So we need to look at it as our assistant, who is here to help us augment what we can do more, versus, oh, I'm not going to use it, it will know what like I'm doing, and then it will take my work.
And it's funny how if you start talking back to AI, meaning that arguing and questioning the input that you get, right? It says, "Oh, sorry, yeah, this is the right answer," and it gets better and better. It's funny. Why didn't you think before? So some people get into these deep conversations, but in the end, yes, we do have to have a direction. We do have to have an intent and knowledge, right? If you want to position ourselves as professionals, absolutely. I mean, this is probably, two times two right now kind of logic, right? But still, every day we're facing some funny examples. What's your funniest so far, Amit? Meaning that, yeah.
So if I can take the example, like, so one day, like, my daughter, she's 12 now. So last year she was using Siri, the Alexa. We all use that. So she was like, Alexa, take me, tell me a joke and all that stuff. On the breakfast table, she was like, tell me a joke or this and that. I'm doing this, I'm feeling this. So she was asking all that question, and AI being AI, just trying to answer. Then then she was like, she's like, all right, Alexa, I'm not happy. She's like, I'm not happy. She just randomly said, and I'm like, I was with her. I'm like, what happened? Then Alexa started, without understanding anything, he just started ranting out. Oh, I understand that this might be happening. This is the time of the year, and whatnot. So that was like, I couldn't, stop laughing a bit, because my daughter was like, she was looking at me, as in, okay, what does it mean? Like, she was like, she had different expressions, as you can imagine, but she was like, what does it mean? I'm like, no, because you are asking random questions. So from a work standpoint, when I say, like, when it comes, a funny part is, we use AI to validate AI. So I have seen, like, all right, so we want to evaluate, let's say, AI response. We all build those tools, like, let's say if uh, we have built an AI agent framework or anything which is supposed to get some information, or let's say building an RFP or anything. Then we will have another AI which is actually evaluating the response of that. So that's a bit like, I mean, that's one level of verification we can do, but that's a bit funny, because then how we would ensure the verifier, which is another LLM or whatever, then how we will validate, the output of that agent. So that's kind of funny, wherein we are completely relying on AI, or like AI is doing it, and then that kind of defeats the purpose of leveraging or making the AI optimized for our use.
Yeah, of optimization, do you see agents autonomously negotiating deals or predicting viral campaigns before they launch? That would have huge industry effect, don't you think?
Absolutely. Even we sometimes use, and we have been working with a few clients, uh, wherein in typical marketing scenario, when you are launching an email campaign, or you are launching any media ad or anything, then you can actually, we also leverage AI, and I'm sure everybody does, how customers are going to react to this ad. Like, if we have a targeted audience, let's say, based on their demographic, psychographic profiles, how they are going to respond to it. So we are leveraging AI to predict, and then how we can make it more compelling or resonating with the audience based on what we know about them, the institutional knowledge that we have acquired, based on the customer, since they are our customers, or the interactions which we have had with them. So yes, like, and I see students or any or the influencers, or it's there everywhere, where we are leveraging AI as a first auditor, to be able to say, yes, it looks good, it doesn't look good, yeah, first draft is good. lot of lot of technical resume writers, I'm sure they are using, this is the job description, and then this is my profile, review it as a hiring manager. So which is there, and it is, as I said earlier, this is where the true usage of AI is, how I can augment my potential, to leverage it, and there's no harm in it, and that's how it should be used, because I can measure it.
Sure, sure. What about the risks, though, right? Where do you see the biggest risks for organization, like agent hallucinations or even cyber vulnerabilities? I mean, how can organizations think about that and mitigate without actually, yeah, stopping innovation?
So, and that's the key, and you point out a very strong aspect, and that's where, like, most of the AI POCs, agentic AI POCs, are still the POCs and haven't been made to the production when it comes to some of the risk. So from a risk standpoint, like the governance aspect, the observability, as in the judgment, the ethical response of the AI, responsibility of AI, hallucination is definitely one of them. Biasness. So as in the input which is being given to the AI, is it being adhering to brand guidelines? Is it being adhering to the regulatory and compliance requirements? And then it goes to AI. What boundaries has been provided to AI, if the data is going out or not? So, based on my experience and how we have enabled it for several clients in multiple uh, cross-function capabilities, is when you think of risk, the first and foremost is looking at what is going out and what is coming in. Like, are we pushing the data out to AI, or are we like, or what is coming from AI? And to mitigate some of those things, is we need to establish the guardrails, like the guardrails at every point, as in when there is a prompt, or when there is a prompt, if the prompt is adhering to those guidelines, if the agent is talking to a different agent, the communication protocol, the A2A, or the MCP, as in what kind of guidelines, governance, auditing that has been established, the response, how we are evaluating the response, how we are enabling AI, like, to judge, and what are the checkpoints or the gates where human is in the loop. So human, without having a human in the loop, again, we can have all these guardrails and everything, but they cannot be 100% trusted. So when enabling AI, start with, like, the governance first is has to be by design, versus, oh, let's build the prototype, then we'll think about the governance and the productionization part of it. So some of the aspects, the judgment, the hallucinations or the biasness, the ethical use, the brand guidelines, and then the evaluating the response of the AI are the key factors that should be looked at when we are evaluating or thinking of enabling AI.
Beautiful, beautiful. I know it's not a thankful job to do any future predictions, all right? But I'm just interested in where you are. I'm sure you are reading their articles, listening to smart people, working with fantastic talent around you, right? So, what emerging technologies, maybe multi-agent systems or edge AI, will fuel the next wave of this boom? I mean, I'm just wondering, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I think some of the key things that I am looking at, and as you can imagine, this area is growing faster than ever. and every day there is a new framework or a new technology which is coming in, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with everything. Some of the framework like Crew AI, Langsmith, LangChain, those are the key from an orchestration standpoint. And I'm particularly looking into some of the Google Cloud capabilities, the Vertex Garden, the Gemini Enterprise portal, wherein you can actually build the agent, on the go, integrate with any agent of your choice or the model of your choice for that matter. Some of the and it provides you a framework to be able to build whatever you want to. Irene, you there?
I'm here. I'm just behind the stage. Keep going.
Oh, sorry. And some of the other AI, I think AI capabilities. If I have to look, I think like both Microsoft, AWS, and some of the other competitors have been coming out pretty well on that. Now you have said that, I probably would have to do some research and be able to get back to you on this question in a more I would say tangible way. I cannot hear you, Irene, if you're saying something.
Good. Yeah, I just had my cough episode, so that's, yeah, I'm still not perfectly recovered. We'll edit it out. Yeah, that's just fine. Yeah.
No worry.
I just wanted to finish with your personal insights. Okay. So, what do you think the most underrated aspect of agentic AI that excites you? All right, maybe in your personal work, maybe in your professional, So, and it's kind of what one change would we want in the AI landscape?
So that's interesting. I actually, now you mentioned, I'm thinking about it, but what one change I think I would, if I have to think that I would make in this whole AI thing is just be more realistic in what we are promising or what we are envisioning to do. What is happening is we start big, try to solve like world's hunger problem with this AI, and then when we start realize, then we realize midway, oh, we cannot do this, we cannot do this. Uh, as like so start small, like micro. That would be my suggestion. Start micro, understand, like put all the pieces in front of you in terms of what needs to be done, and then replug them so that you know what to build, and then be able to scale as you go along. uh, One thing definitely I would change is I wish, like there is lesser article or lesser I would say POVs on the same thing. Everybody is having it, and it's a good thing to have a different POVs. But I'm interested to see, like the real usage of this, which is which can be measured, outcome based, and then there are some metrics attached to it.
Fantastic. Amit, I have to thank you so much for joining me today. All right. So this is your moment to shine. Please let us know how our audience members can reach out. What are the ways to contact you and your team? So yeah, what's the best way?
So of course, like so first is thank you so much, Irene, for having me here, and I truly appreciate you and your team to give allow me to share my point of view. I'm sure, like there is a lot that is out there. Uh, I can be I'm on LinkedIn, Amit Garg. I'm reachable at amit.garg at verticurl.com as well. But one thing I would say this is uh, instead of building or having, like the demos, just the demos, we want to have, like more governed, autonomous, throughput based agents, or the agentic AI, something that can be measured, uh, controlled, and metrics driven.
Fantastic. Any more key takeaways? Because we always finish the episode, with few thoughts that our audience members can remember this conversation by? So anything in conclusion, Amit?
So one thing I would say is hype is hype is an art. Hype is autonomy of the enthusiasm, while reality is um, earned by controls and metrics. So unless so.
Beautiful. So we'll focus on really uncovering what's behind this hype, right? Really unpeeling the true value. And I guess that's what everyone is racing for right now, right? From largest high-tech companies to startups to everyone in between. Amit, I so appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Irene.